Beaming from the nation's capital, we bring to you the good news through various programming, news updates, worship and teachings.
The paralysis of sin makes us to be separated from God.
Contact us for your live streaming solutions and event coverage such as synods, conferences, seminars, revivals and lots more. Engage us in showcasing your brands and services to the world through adverts and sponsorship. We also offer latest broadcast equipment for rent, all at affordable prices. Tune in to ACNN TV via any free-to-air decoder with the following installation parameters: Intelsat 20 satellite with tuning frequency 12562 MHz, symbol rate 30 Mbps, orbital position 68.5 degree east, and horizontal polarization. You can also keep in touch with episodes of our programs via these social media platforms. For inquiries, please call 070-3265-6544 or mail us via inquiries@acnntv.com. ACNN, reaching the world with the undiluted Word of God.
Good day and welcome to today's edition of Christians in Politics. I am Smart Simon. We shall be looking at matters arising in the country with emphasis on insecurity. I have in the studio to discuss this topic with me the Venerable Joseph Unuaya, Director for Civic and Political Affairs, Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, and the chaplain to the National Assembly. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
And also, we have Mr. Loki Shehu, an advocate for peace, democracy, and good governance. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Viewers, please, we encourage you to share all our social media links, and you can call in to share your thoughts on these very important issues. Now, right away, we want to start our discussion. And let me start with our Venerable. What can you say on the topic before us, looking at the kidnapping, the incessant killings in the country?
Well, it is really unfortunate that we have found ourselves where we are today. It's not a good omen for the country at all. And my brother, we always say, of recent, we say, brother, we are in the jungle, where you go out, you are not sure whether you will return at the end of the day. So we are just living by the grace of God now in the country, and unfortunately, the security apparatus that we have seems to be overwhelmed, seems to be overstretched, and the information that the immediate retired chief of defense staff, Buratai, gave to the world was very, very frightening when he said, let us tell ourselves the truth that before we can flush out Boko Haram from this country, and all these elements that are causing havoc here and there, it will take another 20 years.
Wow.
And that is a country, and that is a person that has been handling this issue for some time now, and they have told us that they have used so many words that they have defeated Boko Haram, they have decimated them, they have done whatever, and technically defeated them. Later here, the same person, just few weeks after retirement, telling the world that it will take another 20 years. But it's not strange to me, because I knew that with the way our system is in Nigeria, if we allow insecurity to fester among us, it will be difficult to control. But it's very sad that people can't travel, people can't sleep well. No single day you not hear 1, 2, 3, 4, or no horrible news about killings, maiming, stealing, raping, and all that. This is not the way countries should go. It's unfortunate.
All right, thank you so much. Now let me come to you, Loki. With the appointment of new service chiefs, you would think that bad news or negative news will be minimal. But that is not the case. What is exactly wrong?
Okay, thanks for having me once more. I want to be fair to the new service chiefs for one reason.
Yeah.
I so much believe the long stay of the previous service chief has caused a psychological effect on men of our security agencies.
Okay.
So we will have to give them time before they come back to what we should expect them to be. There is a serious downward morale among the military officers right now, and you have to give them time to pick those who they think will do the work for them. Everybody knows General Joe in the Northeast. He is said to be one of the best that have happened to the Northeast as far as the fight against Boko Haram is.
Okay, that is the current
the chief of defense staff. So also is the chief of army staff, who took over from him immediately. So these guys know what is happening in the Northeast. It is too early for us to start questioning their input. I want to give them time. I expect them to do something better than what we've had in the past. I want to give them the benefit of that for now. But talking about insecurity, how did we get here? How did we find ourselves in a situation where we can be akin to a Somali of the 1990s and possibly Afghanistan of the 2000s? How did we get to this place? I so much believe we've not been truthful to ourselves when it comes to the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. One of the best ways to end insurgency, as far as I know, is winning the hearts of the populace. Since 2009, is it that our security agencies have not been able to win the heart of the populace where these things are happening? Because obviously it seems the people who live around these areas where these things are happening seems to be comfortable with the happenings. They see these people as theirs. If you want to end insurgency, you have to you have to make these people know that when I said these people living around the Northeast and the North Central, where
okay, those in the grassroots.
Now, you have to make them understand that these people are your enemies, not yours. That is why most times in security studies, they will tell you the best way to end insurgency is winning the heart and mind of the populace. And I ask myself, have we not been able to do that for all this while?
Of course, that is what it
That
means.
is number one. Then the second one is, I so much believe these guys don't have a large arsenal that our security agencies will not find out. If they don't, then there is a supply.
Yeah.
When I mean about large arsenals, I'm talking about where they pile up ammunition to fight the Nigerian government from 1999 to date. If they don't, there is definitely a supply to them. The question is, have we not been able to identify that supply link
and cut
it off? Of course, I know of military industrial complex. Yes, gun manufacturers would definitely want to make cells.
Yeah.
What is the work of our Ministry of Foreign Affairs? Why have we not been able to identify the supply chain of ammunition to the insurgents, the bandits, or whatever we want to call them? One of the best ways to end insurgents is to end it from its root. So why have we not been able to curtail the supply of ammunition to these people? Yes, historically, people have said the fall of Gaddafi has made a serious proliferation of light arms and ammunition along the Sahel. And the question is, are the Gaddafi ammunition still what is being used by these people? So until we are able to identify and handle these things, we'll continue to go around this cycle. And just like Burutai said, 20 years may not be enough for us to finish this. Back to the issue of kidnapping. It gets me asking questions. Let me focus on a route I'm very much familiar with, Kaduna-Abuja Express route. For more than 5 years, traveling along Kaduna-Abuja road is like you have to pray. You make your last wish. You have to dress like a tattered person so that the kidnappers will not see you and demand a large ransom. The kidnappers, yes, that was one thing people were doing. If you know that you fly Kaduna-Abuja Express route, whenever you are traveling, you have to dress moderately, yes, so that they won't see you and say, this guy can, yes, this is a big target. So this thing has been happening for more than, how comes we've not been able to secure a road that is not up to 200 kilometers? These people are not ghosts. Last year, a local government chairman was kidnapped. Bege Katugai, local government chairman of Kara local government in Kaduna State. If you read his story, you will discover that we are really not serious about this. So until we are serious towards this, I'm telling you, we're going to continue in this cycle. And I don't blame, I blame the government for this long-lasting insecurity. When it started, let me start from southern Kaduna, where I'm very conversant with. From when it started around Ganauri, Bondon axis in Kaura local government to Sanga Ninte in Sanga local government, Jamal local government, and these places. Instead of us identifying it for what it is, government came with a narrative that is, of course, false. They called it communal clash. Now, everybody knows that the approach towards ending a communal clash is different from the approach you apply dealing with insurgency, banditry, and whatever you want to call it. Now, the government was giving it the communal clash approach, while the bandits were still doing it. They, of course, kept the banditry aspect aside and were focusing on the communal clash, which was not happening. And we used we lost that particular period of nipping it in the bud right from its origin to, should I call it a political or religious bias or sentiment, I don't know. But of the truth, we lost it right from that moment. The second aspect is the issue of compensation, ransom given, and amnesty programmings for these bandits. The moment you start paying people for being evil, you are recruiting more evil people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Once you start,
the moment you start paying people for being evil, you are recruiting
more evil.
Incentive.
That is an incentive. If, as a graduate, I will spend more than 10 years without having 5 million naira in my account, some tout who never entered the walls of a classroom sit and get compensated for kidnapping an individual, then I'm telling you, are inviting people to do that, more of that. We have a lot of graduates who don't have job, who don't have anything doing. These people cannot claim to have any tangible amount in their account. Then people who have picked up arms against the state are allowed to flourish, are even being paid. You see somebody who has kidnapped you being forgiven. Who gives you the right to forgive an evildoer? I so much believe both in Christianity and Islam there is a reward for evildoers, and that reward is left with God. It is only God that forgives evildoers. We should not forgive those who have picked up arms against the state.
All right, thank you so much. We should not forgive those who have picked up arms against the state. All right, thank you so much. That is very loud and clear. Now let me come to you. There are cases of attacks in communities where bandits or terrorists will come into community, will attack, and after a few days, they'll still come back to the same community and attack. And nothing seems to happen. What sense can we make out of this kind of thing? They come today, attack. After a few days, they are coming again to attack in the same community. And it's as if our security agents are sleeping. What sense can we make out of this kind of situation?
Well, I will say, one, lack of political will to do things right. That is one. And number two, I think, like what my brother have just said, this thing has become a flourishing business for people because of the way and manner it has been handled over the years. So that's where we lost it at the beginning, as he said. Now, talking about a community being attacked, and after a while again it is attacked, they may not be the same set of bandits or group of persons or group of criminals. One may attack and hit and go, and the way and manner it is handled, they collected ransom, then government is giving them amnesty, this or that, another set of group.
Also go, let us go and get our own.
And get our own and strike again. That is one of the challenges we are dealing with. Honestly, the issue of insecurity is complicated, because when he was speaking, you heard of the ethnic dimension. Some people giving it ethnic coloration. Some are giving it religious coloration.
Exactly.
And whipping up sometimes unnecessary sentiment. And those in authority that would have done the right thing, they know what to do to nip this thing on the board. They wouldn't do it because of religious sentiment. All these have combined to make this thing continue to happen over and over and over again. Now, if I may take on the issue of not being able to win the heart of the people, that is the military and security agencies not being able to win the heart of the people, I think the angle from which my brother was speaking is recruitment. How these Boko Haram people are not these kidnappers, bandits, or whatever they call them, how are they able to continue to recruit people? I want to say that for me, from my personal assessment, it may not necessarily be that the government or the military have not been able to win the heart of the people. But the issue is that if people are being killed and you are not able to come to their rescue, they have no alternative than to make alliance with the people who are killing them.
Exactly.
Just to see survival techniques.
Yes,
and that is how I see it. If a community is attacked for 3 hours, there's no response from the police, no response from the military. It's when they have been slaughtered thereafter, before government will come and put them in the news and they be checking what has happened, and it has been in that pattern. So if the enemy comes around to say, if you don't want to die, better join us, allow your children to join us, work with us to save yourself, then they have no choice than to do that. And the porosity of our borders is an issue. Most of the people we are seeing around in the country, whether you call them herdsmen, this, that are carrying AK-47, you see they are looking very strange. Exactly. They don't even look like the normal traditional Fulani that we know. Their dressing, their dress code, when you see them, gives a picture of people from all this Eastern, North African and all that. So I think the porous nature of our nature and our inability to monitor our borders is a major issue in this very matter. And of course, I said earlier, because government at the beginning was kind of playing some, I don't know what to call the game. I don't understand what government was doing at the beginning. That a community will be attacked, no one will respond immediately. Then if they are attacked again or the community decide to maybe put up some form of resistance or even protest, the protesters will be arrested and be jailed, and many will be punished as if the way it was being handled. And even the attacker, thank God they are beginning to arrest them now. You will know that in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, these people were moving about with this AK-47. No one was being arrested for killing, for maiming, for anything. So even the government, the body language, they may say it's not deliberate, but the body language sent a very wrong signal to the criminal that, oh, this is a ripe environment for us to do our job. And that is why more people, that is an incentive for more people. In fact, government was even opening the door. Some governors, some people in high places were saying people, Fulani all over the world are flocking to Nigeria.
The governor of Bauchi is on the social media saying we invite other Fulanis from everywhere to come.
Even up till now. So when you are doing such a thing, then you are giving incentive to the criminals.
All right, thank you so much. Viewers, at this point, we want to encourage you to please share all our social media handles, social media links. And of course, you can call in to share your thought with us on this very serious matter. Now, let me come to you. You were just talking about porous border now. And you remember that in one of our programs, you talk about how porous our borders are. Yes. I don't know if you can remember to tell us about how many borders we have and how porous these borders are, so that if our government are listening, if something can be done, really border issues are issues that must be handled. Otherwise, we won't come out of these problems.
Now, you remember I told about almost 1,500 porous borders in Nigeria as it stands, ranging from Katsina, Sokoto, a little part of Jigawa State. You move down to Maiduguri, some part of Yobe, come to Niger State bordering Benin Republic from this axis now. Yeah. Then you move down to Ogun, Lagos State. All these places, of course, in the northeast you have the Katsina, Maiduguri, Adama, and Taraba State. All these places share borders with most of these West African and Central African countries. Now, how have we been able to man these borders? Because, like Daddy said, the first stage, another important thing to do to combat this insecurity is to make sure that our borders are secured.
Just hold your thought. We have a caller from where now? Barrister, please can you speak up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. My name is Barrister Ima.
Okay, Barrister Ima, thank you for calling in. Please give us your thought.
It's all right. It's okay. I am speaking from Billiri.
Billiri, that is Gombe State. Thank you so much for calling.
Yes, Local Government Council of Gombe State.
Okay.
Yes, I am a member of the St. James Anglican Church, Billiri.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
And also, by the grace of God, the acting registrar of the Diocese of Gombe.
Okay, thank you, Registrar, for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. The incident that happened in Billiri resulting to the destructions we have witnessed was equal to the death, the unfortunate death of the immediate past Mai Tangle.
Okay.
The paramount ruler of the Tangale nation.
Okay, Mai Tangale.
So after his demise, it is expected that in a very short while, the new Mai will be announced.
Yes.
So that was not done. After some few days, the governor had a supervisory committee to guide the election of the new Mai.
Yes.
After several rescheduling, it was done, the election was done last week, Monday, 15th of February, 2021.
Okay.
The 9 kingmakers of the Tangale nation, elected their preferred choice as the Maitangle.
Yeah.
Dr. Musa Meyamba scored 5 votes. Alaji Danladi scored 2 votes. Alaji Gimba scored 2 votes. So the whole town was happy that everything has ended peacefully. So it was expected that the governor would announce the winner that Monday, or maybe shortly after 1 or 2 days. But on Wednesday last week, that was on the 17th, there was police beef up, security beef up around the town in Biliri. So people started suspecting. Already there was this rumors flying around that the governor had a preferred candidate contrary to the winner of that poll. So the suspicion continued to build up and the people started demonstrating. The demonstration continued Thursday through Friday. And then Friday, which was the day the Muslims in town do their prayers as usual. So suspicion started building that there will be no prayers, there will be prayers, there will be no prayers. Before we know what was happening, it turned to a religious crisis. Because the Dr. Musa is a Christian, while the other 2 were Muslims. And the governor is a Muslim. So the suspicion was that the governor wanted a Muslim. That is the suspicion.
Okay.
So it now turned religious. And then massive destructions and the killing of persons. The governor now came on Saturday and curfew now placed in Biliri town.
Okay.
So the peace in Biliri now is the peace of the graveyard. While the place is quiet, there is fear to enter.
Yeah.
That is the position as it is now.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Ima, the acting registrar of Gombe Diocese. We appreciate you so much for telling us what in Biliri in Gombe State. Now, based on what he had just said, it looks like the government is not doing the needful and therefore contributing to the insecurity in Biliri in Gombe State. What is your thought on this?
Yes, I think most of the crises that we have today are fallout of bad leadership, mismanagement of crisis and all that. Not taking the right step, the time it should be taken. You can see the picture the man painted. When I conducted my personal research, it was exactly what I got that he has just told us now, confirmed to us, that if we bring in religious sentiment into everything we do, into appointment, into choice of who should be and who should not be, we always end up with this kind of confusion and division of the society and turning them against themselves.
Yes.
Okay, if this is a process that's supposed to be seamless, the king has gone to rest with his maker and the vacancy is to be filled. If you set up a committee to oversee it and they have voted, why don't you simply declare the winner? So I would love to stop there because I have not heard of the government. But this is what is in the public domain and this is what somebody on ground, a legal officer, has also confirmed.
Yeah.
So this is how Nigerian political elite have handled so many
hold on.
matters.
We have the Right Reverend Cletus Tambari from Gombe State. Hello, my lord.
Benefits all the participants and audience. We are calling Gombe because of the recent Biliri.
Okay.
Because to the turning of according to a lot of a man was killed of it.
Please, my lord, if you can call back because it's not, we can't hear you very clear.
Or tune down the volume of his television.
Or tune down the volume of your television set, sir. All right, thank you so much. Now, you wanted to...
Yes, funny enough, Biliri is my second home. I grew up in that town. I schooled there. St. James was my church. I was confirmed in St. James Biliri, the same church I attend. Now, what is happening really is so disheartening. The Tangale nation is one place that has been accommodating to everybody.
Yeah.
Religiously, if there is any need for that, I think the Christian constitute over or about 80% of the people in Tangale land. Coincidentally, in the 80s and 90s, the emirs that have, the Mai, as they call it, the traditional rulers of the Tangale land, have always been Muslim.
Okay, we have the bishop calling back. Please speak up, my lord.
The place, I believe, was as a result of the traditional rulers, wherein the came in to elect someone to replace my tradition. 3 people were, and they had cast, wherein Musa Mayamba got 5 votes, Alhaji Gimba got 2 votes, Alhaji Dalaj got 2, at the 9 votes casted by the king. The result was the governor, so that announced, and was a delay. This delay was interpreted to that the governor wanted the result given.
Okay.
And it led to the protest, the destruction of properties of millions of naira, loss of life. Although the situation arrested in Britain,
okay,
but as it is, we can say extent the battle is still the have still not yet announced the person who is the led Tanga. The only thing that will be done will restore at that side for the government, people's choice. And this we are for lasting peace in the southern part of Gombe. Because this event did not only affect Ugiliri, all the neighboring.
All right, my lord. Thank you so much for your thought. If you can tune down your television. But then we want to ask you, sir, what are you doing in your capacity, or Christians in general in Gombe doing to ensure that there is a lasting peace in Biliri?
Okay, we unite and call on all our arms and different nations to go back to the Lord. Prayers, that's the first thing. And also cooperate the traditional and also Christian people to encourage our followers great peace. And as I speak today by the special Lord, the governor had a meeting with all the religious leaders, which I believe will be a remedy to the situation.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you for calling in. Thank you so much, my lord. Now, before he called, you were trying to say something on that.
Just like they've
but
said.
if you can make it brief, so that we can go on.
Just like they've said, it's obvious. Religion has never been an issue as regard to who the Maitangler is. Like I said, before the late Mai Abdul Meshur, who took over in 2002, the previous Mai, the uncle to the guy that won the election today, was a Muslim. The one before him was also Muslim. So religion has never been an issue. They take whosoever they want to be their Mai, regardless of his faith. They don't have issue with that. And like I told you, these are people who are almost 80% Christians. The CMI missionaries settled in Biliri local government. So they were fortunate to be converted as Christians. That is for that. Now, There is an issue here, and this is an issue we should tackle. It's not just in Gombe. It has happened in Oyo State, the issue of Olu Ibadan. It has happened in Kaduna State. We know what happened when the issue of the Emir of Zanzibar came up. We saw what happened in Kanu. Yes, it's happening today. Also, it happened in Adamawa State, the Norman Kingdom. Yeah. This thing needs a constitutional review when it comes to the issue of traditional leadership.
Okay.
Who should be saddled with the responsibility of choosing traditional rulers for the different tribes we have? Is it political office holders or the traditional kingmakers? We need to find a solution to this. If not, the issue of, I'm even scared of what will happen in Southern Kaduna should my Ogwan dies today. And if I can bring in anybody who wants to put it. So we need to look for a solution like this.
Okay.
Since we are talking about insecurity, this is a serious issue. We don't need to allow it happen before we start looking for a solution. We should make laws that will prevent things like this. Let's be proactive with issues like this. The traditional institutions stand differently from political office holders. Let's make laws where political office holders will not have anything to do with the appointment, promotion, or whatsoever of the traditional institutions.
All right, thank you. There, we're going to hold it there. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we will continue with our conversation on these very important issues.
We need assistance.
Oh my God! I've gone everywhere.
How can you say Christians should stay away from politics?
Leveling buildings, setting cars on fire, and shattering the glass in windows more than a mile away. Those homes, businesses were destroyed.
What is happening to this country? The Bible says the government of this world will be upon his shoulder. Jesus must rule and reign. If we are going to have peace, if we are going to have equity, justice, Jesus must be enthroned.
The first church to evacuate the dead and wounded from the scene. Another loud explosion was also reported in the central Nigerian town of Jos. The attack was hit during Christmas Mass on the outskirts of the capital, Abuja. A witness counted at least 19 dead there.
Christians must participate in politics. How do you tell me not to show interest about how my life will be wrong?
Is to represent another king and another kingdom.
So da sun je bindigogi suna an fara harbe, so dia su uku ne a dakin sai dia ya tashi ya hawo jabin ya je ya fade kasa ya bude table gate escape door ya fita, dia kuma ya bi shi ya fita, wannan kuma da ya tashi da jinjiri barcin zai nane zai bi ya fito karfta su, so suka kama shi su harbe shi ba sai su suka yanka shi, sun yanka shi.
Boko Haram week, the Islamist extremists have been terrorizing villages in Gwoza. there are reports of hundreds dead.
That Christians got involved in politics.
Christians should go into politics. They should go and register, be members of political party, be card-carrying member of political party, seek for elective office, and don't forget, if you are going there, be determined to make a difference.
It is unfortunate today that far too many believers are expecting the solutions to our problems to land on Air Force One. And until the immune system of God, the church, is brought back up, the bacteria and viruses of destruction will continue to destabilize our country, ebb away our freedoms, and take away our liberty.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people
Viewers, you're welcome back, and we've been having a very serious conversation on the issue of insecurity in our country, and we've been having Venerable Joseph Unoya and Mr. Loki Shehu talking to us on these issues. Thank you so much for your time, and we want to continue our discussion. We've been able to discuss Gombe matter extensively. Now, with the way bandits are operating, are we right to say they are gaining momentum? Let me start with you, and then I'll get to
Of course they
Venerable.
are. Of course they are. Just look at it. Within the space of 2 months, we've had some major kidnappings happen.
Yeah.
Just one happened in Katsina State while the president was still there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand the gravity of that thing happening. For bandits to have the guts to go pick students in a school where the president is having his holiday speaks loud of how poor our security is today. If you followed how presidency moves, whenever a president there is a serious artillery of security agencies sent to wherever he's traveling to. Yes. And I so much believe when the president was going to Katsina, a lot of security personnel were sent to Katsina State. And for those kidnappers to have the guts to pick 300 students plus and successfully move them without being noticed is a cause to worry.
Concern.
Are you getting it? Because moving 2-3 persons may be that easy, but moving with about 300 pupils, whether through the bushes or by road, without being detected by our security personnel, is something we should disturb ourselves with. We have to ask wisdom, what are we doing? Then that was in Kankara. Then we had one last week in Kagara here in Niger State. Apart from the ones that were released the day before yesterday, those travelers. So by each passing day, things are getting worse. And there is something that I've noticed. I don't know if it's by my destiny. I've noticed that once these bandits or kidnappers or whatever the government wants to call them are operating in a particular environment, there tend to be a little peace in the other parts of the country. It seems these people move from point A to do their evil act and transfer themselves to another point to continue with it, move from that point to a point. Let me give you the sequence.
Yeah.
It was from Southern Kaduna to some part of Nasarawa, then they moved to Benue State. from Benue State came back to Southern Kaduna, were operating till they killed the Ogwamadera. Then moved to Biringwari Agris in the northern part of Kaduna, then towards Niger, then, before the Niger part, they went towards Katsina, Zamfara State axis. From that place, now we are faced with them in Niger State. So that is ring, I want to believe, of movement by these bandits. They know their route, and for the fact that our security agencies have not been able to cut that ring is something we should be asking ourselves. What are these people doing?
All right.
It makes you want to ask, what do we have the DSS for? What is the CIDs with the police force?
The Nigerian intelligence agency.
The NIA that is supposed to have the international posture. What have they been doing? Even in the Nigerian army, they have the intelligence too.
Yes.
So, what are we use taxpayers' money to pay these guys to do this work? Why are we not having results?
All right, sir, let me now come to you. In continuation with the discussion, you know there is crisis in Niger. We have just discussed Gombe. There is in Kaduna, there is in Katsina, Delta State, Olu in Imo State, all of this. What do you think should be the right step is the government taking the right step by sending military, especially that of Olu, to go and then do what they did in that particular place?
Now, can I permit me to take off from where he stopped?
Please do.
Now, can you ask yourself, what does it take for a country to track 200 motorcycles moving in convoy? All of them having passengers carrying AK-47. That is the account that the people just released in Niger State were given to us. And we have heard of this before. When they come to attack community, they come in their numbers, in 50s, in hundreds. You mean we don't have the intelligence to monitor this thing and crush them? It means these people are moving like reorganized gang. And look at the picture he gave about
they move in convoy.
In convoy, and to attack community. What we have, our military jets, our helicopters, and all these things for? You mean we cannot do area surveillance to be able to track these people and get them? So that is a big question. That tells you that we are yet to really wake up about this fight against insecurity. Then who are these bandits? Who are they working for? That is another question that needs to be answered. Who is supplying them weapons? So these are there are lots of
serious weapons. They display serious weapons.
How are they making,
like military hardware?
How are they making their transactions? The money to buy some of these weapons these people are holding is not small money.
It's not.
It's not small money. Then how are they moving this money? Are they using bank? There are so many questions unanswered.
Should government pay ransom?
Should government pay ransom to people of this very nature? They are talking about amnesty. Thank God our brother spoke so eloquently on the issue of they need not to grant amnesty to these people. This is a Christian television station, and you might say, why should we not forgive? But let's be scriptural. Even in Isaiah, the Bible says, do good to a sinner, he will never repent. That is what we have seen. Not too long ago, you heard of an army commander that was shot on the head by one of these purported repentant Boko Haram or something like that. And these people are infiltrating the system. So, having said that, let's move to the other trouble spot and the way the matters are being handled. I've never been satisfied with the way the Nigerian government have handled the matter of IPOB. And even the way they are also handling the ESN, the Eastern Security Network. I'm not satisfied with it. You see, the way they are handling these things, the way they handled Boko Haram at the beginning,
and they killed their leader, and the matter went out of hand, out of control. So that is the same method they are using for this Eastern Security Network. People are invading communities, killing people, destroying people's farm, moving about with AK-47. We are not making any serious effort to get the people that are terrorizing the people, coming to destroy people's farm, coming to kill people in their villages where they have been all over their life,
raping them and kidnapping them.
The people are now being forced to kind of make attempt to defend themselves. You are more concerned
about those who are defending themselves.
And you see, government is sending a lot of wrong signals. For instance, in the issue of this is the Kangara, of the latest one in Niger State. You had, I don't know whether you watched when the Minister of Defense, a retired general too, was speaking. He was blaming the community openly on air that those days people used to put up resistance, and he doesn't know why.
What weapons do the community have
he was saying he doesn't know why people will just come and attack a community. They will fold their hand. They will not put up any form of resistance. Then the people that are trying to put up security network, look at the way Amateku's security network for the for the West was discussed, and it was fought and almost destroyed. Then the Eastern Security Network, if there is security, if the police can secure the eastern part of the country, if the soldiers can secure them, they will not need the local security arrangement. So why are we more concerned about how to crush a vigilante group? For me, that is a vigilante group.
Yes.
How are we more concerned? There was a time when people could not move about in Anambra. But they came up with a local security arrangement, Isakaba and what, Bakassi boys. And it crossed the Santi, and people were able to sleep well again and go about their business. That's how I see Eastern Security Network. But it's like government are chasing shadow when the main thing is happening out there. Until we deal with the issue of herdsmen, killer herdsmen, that are all about in our forest, killing people, triggering crisis all over the country, until we are ready to arrest.
Just hold on, sir. We have a caller online.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
I'm Justice from Lagos.
Okay.
Please, I want to contribute to this Eastern Network.
Okay, please go ahead.
Please, I want to know, what is the purpose of this Eastern Network, and what are they doing, and why are they throwing bombs in the eastern part of this country?
Bombs? Is it the Eastern Security Network now that is throwing bombs?
Huh?
Is it the Eastern Security Network that is throwing bombs?
Yes, I'm talking against this network. Whether they are doing the same thing with Boko Haram.
Okay.
Because what I'm trying to say is that are the ordinary security people like this, let's say, then they are throwing bomb on them. Let us know exactly, because this Eastern Network, they are not killing people as to me.
Okay. Maybe it's
this Eastern Security Network are just like the Amatekun of the Southwest.
Even there are some security, lay security networks in the north.
Yes.
That are assisting the military.
Sorry, there is something about security and governance. Once government creates a vacuum, it gives room for people to rise up to fill the vacuum. And that is what is happening. It's because of the lack of peace in the country that people tend to rise up to defend themselves. There is a general saying that if people can go about providing some basic essentials for themselves, those essentials as food, shelter, road network, water and the rest. But the moment people decide to provide for themselves security, there is a failure of government. And that is what we are having here at hand.
All right. You were still saying something.
Yeah,
thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much. I was talking about the way and manner these things are being handled. Look at the way the government rushed into declaring IPOB as a terrorist organization. And up to today, the killer herdsmen, nothing has been said about them. Look at what is going on around the whole country. Now, up to today, no one have decided to declare state of emergency on security. Even in the Senate proceeding that I watched this very week, I think yesterday, I listened to people like Senator Lujimi and so many others asking, why is it taking us time to declare insecurity in this country as an emergency matter? It was even say, if we can declare emergency on the matter of COVID-19,
yes.
Why can't we do that to secure so that it can be handled from different angles? Now, the style that is being adopted in Olu, where helicopters and military are everywhere, they said they are killing people, shooting people, and they are dropping people. I don't believe that is the best way to handle. If you cannot defend me, I should be able to defend myself.
All right, we'll leave it there. If the government cannot defend the people, then people should be able to defend themselves. And that is why there are security network here and there, people setting it up to defend themselves.
Was that not what the Minister of Defense was saying?
Now, let me come to you. There is a cry for legalization of firearms.
Yes.
What is your stand on this?
We're not ripe for that. I don't buy that.
Okay.
And that goes contrary to what we have.
Speak for 1 minute on this.
No, speak on this.
That goes against why the state exists in the first instance. If you are a student of political science, one of the theories that gives reason for the existence of the state says that was a time when we call it state of nature, where man was living for himself, life was British short, as people like John Locke described it.
Yeah.
And because of that insecurity, people decided to come together, give their right to a central body called the state for it to provide security against themselves. That is the existence of the state. Now, the moment you start allowing people to defend themselves, you are going back to that state of nature. Why am I saying that? We have not legalized the ownership of ammunition. Now, what I can tell you that there is a serious proliferation of small arms and light weapons today. And the end result of it is the insecurity we are faced with. What of when government finally decide to say, okay, own a gun, we are giving you a license to own a gun. People will do worse than what we are faced with.
All right.
No, I think on this point, I beg
self-defense.
Yes, I beg
should people defend themselves?
I beg to differ. Number one, why should people not defend themselves? My friend, you look at me. If you don't see what you did, you have just defended yourself.
Of course.
I pointed finger to your eye, but the next thing, response was you blinked immediately because you don't want me to put the finger to blind you. That is self-defense. It's an inbuilt mechanism in man. So if somebody is coming to kill me, you are telling me just fold my hand and allow the person to come and cut my neck and cut the neck of my children, and I just go like that. The security personnel are not able to do it. The police are not able to do it. For instance, when my church decided to have police to be watching over the copper, that is where I knew there was a big problem. We wrote to the IG, nothing came out of it. They told us to pay money, 300,000 the church paid, nothing came out of it. Eventually they refunded it because I demanded for it. We went to the MOPO, they could not provide. We went to they said they are overstretched and they don't have personnel. They open up to us. Under that circumstance, what do you want us to do? We just fold hand and allow the enemy to continue to attack?
Our time is up.
Legalization of firearm. Nigeria have a law that govern the licensing of firearms. License gone for reputable Nigerians, for people who can afford, who does not have character problem, that government can track, so that the communities are not porous.
All right.
When people come, this
just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Do you know what? Do you know what happened in Agatu? The governor did the mopping up of arms, and immediately after, the enemy came and struck and just slaughtered people. They could not put up any form of resistance that the Minister of Defense is talking about. Yeah. So if they were having some arms, or reputable people, responsible citizens were having arms to put up a resistance, it will not be so. I support the licensing of firearms for people.
That will be a topic for another day.
Yes, we cannot allow the enemy to be moving about with arms and the responsible citizens.
Your advice to the government, 30 seconds. We're out of time.
The Bible talk about if you know the truth and the truth shall set you free. I believe the government should be truthful to itself when it comes to the issue of security. Let's be truthful, because once we are truthful to ourselves, that will be commitment. Yeah. We want to handle it the way it should be. This thing is not there today. We are giving it colors.
Thank you so much. We should be truthful. If you know the truth shall set you free. We are grateful to Venerable Joseph Unuaya and Mr. Lokeshewu. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an interesting time here. And let me end with your quote. The moment you start paying people for being evil, you are recruiting more evil people in the land. Until we come your way again, same time, same station next week. I am Smart Simon.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers, and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN TV.